All right, we are there. We are there. We are there. Let me share this on my YouTube channel, and we go rock and roll on my Facebook. This is YouTube on my Facebook channel. Get this shared. All right, there we go. It's 3 o'clock on the dot, y'all. All right, so let's rock and roll. Let's get this show on the road here. Mic check. Mic check. All right, for those who might tune in, this will be on my YouTube channel. You ideally would go on and subscribe and ask for the notifications so that you'll be updated every time that I put something out there that can add value to the struggle. All right. So anyway, today is Saturday. It's the fourth Saturday of the month. We have 5 Saturdays this month of August. It is August 23rd. So we got one more, which would be August 30th next Saturday. So we always do the fourth Saturday with the summit here. Yeah, we always do the fourth Saturday, which is the summit. And so that's why we're doing it here today. As it stands right now, I'm the only one out here at the summit in 60629 zip code. All the people in 60629, ideally, this is the once a year summit for them. So ideally, they'll be out here. I'm going to speak on what this means. And what I learned a long time ago is just be obedient, be faithful, be diligent, try to keep your word and just do your part and don't worry about nothing else. So we are recording this so that people can watch it and ideally learn some things about what we got to do as a people. So the agenda, let's see if I can post the agenda so you guys can follow the agenda. It's always a tight agenda, and I'm not going to be able to get through all of it on this live. I'm at 60%, so it's going to know it's going to go down. So we're not going to be able to get it all, but I'm going to get as much as I can so you guys can follow this and ideally learn. I know it pretty much by heart, so it's okay if you guys just follow me and I direct it. So anyway, the first thing we do is open up with prayer. I already, thank God for allowing me to be here and all those people who are on their way. Thank God for that. Let's see here. I don't think I downloaded the agenda. So yeah, this is last month's agenda, but it's the same every month. What changes is the last name people. So we're going to follow this. You can follow this agenda so you can see where I am. So we always open up with the roll call, and the roll call is pretty much me naming the people by zip code. We got 20 zip codes, and those 20 zip codes are linked to 20 different U.S. cities. And so when I go through the roll call, that kind of ideally lets you know who ideally would be here with us. It's the last names F through K. And here we go. So 60612 zip code, which is the Garfield Park zip code. That zip code is led by the leader who last name begins with the alphabet D. So they're not expected to be here. 60623 zip code is led by the leader. Last name begins with the alphabet S. So not expected to be here. That's North Lawndale neighborhood. 60624 zip code. All these are West Side. Is led by leader last name B. Not expected to be here. 60639 zip code is led by leader last name T. Not expected to be here. Then 60644 zip code is led by leader last name A. So it was last month. And then 60651 zip code is led by Governor Cornetha Jones. Ideally, she'll be here. This is her 1 month. And for those who may not know, what do I mean by this 1 month idea? Should have been showing my video all this time. The last name solution is a concept that fits what we're going through right now. And this concept is designed because with all the attacks happening to Black people, unfortunately, we find ourselves all over the place, reacting, responding, and doing a whole lot of stuff. And in doing that, what ends up happening is we are overly exposed, we're super busy, and so we don't really have time to coordinate, which is the ideal scenario. Not all of us doing the same thing, but coordinating. You do X, I do Y, so that together we got both covered. That's what we're not doing as a people. So the concept of twice a year came from a broken clock that's right twice a day. So he said, what if we could do something twice a year? That's every 180 days. Then maybe we can get some coordination going. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to declare that for 2026, we're going to keep the twice a year concept, but I'm only going to anticipate people following through once a year. So one of those 2 times out the year, because we are really committed to the traditions, and some of the traditions keep us divided and all over the place. So I'm gonna not expect twice a year out of people. I'm gonna talk about it and hope that people can do it, but I think it's gonna take some time for us to get there. So anyway, that's why when I'm doing this roll call, I'm naming the last name so you would know who should be here, and those who ideally wouldn't be here, I'm not giving you their full names. So now we're going to move over to the south side. Ken, well, last name is a A. That leader for that zip code is A, so not expected to be here. That was last month. 60620 zip code, which is Auburn Gresham. That leader is last name is Harris, would ideally be here. And then we had 60621, which is Inkwood. That leader last name is D, that governor, that zip code. Then we got 60629. That leader is Deborah Pryor. She is coming. She literally lives up the street here. So she will be here representing. And then we have 60636, Governor Denise King. Ideally would be here because she is last name K, and this is F through K last names. Then we have 60652. That leader last name is C, so not expected to be here. That was last month. And so finally, with the roll call, we had the east side, which is 60615. Last name of that leader is M, not expected to be here. 60617, last name of that leader is B, not expected to be here. Then we got 60619, that leader last name is D, not expected to be here. So as y'all can see, a lot of these zip code leaders was last month, which you see here, A through E. And then we had 60628, that's Charles Robinson. He's our education person too. So he'll be on at 4 o'clock. He's going to still tap in at 4 o'clock. And then we have 60637, last leader, last name R, not expected to be here. That's the Woodlawn neighborhood. 60643, last name leader is S. That's the Washington Heights neighborhood, not expected to be here. And then we have 60649, that leader last name is L, not expected to be here. And then finally 60653, that leader last name is B, not expected to be here. So that's our roll call, you guys. Like I said, I'm anticipating superstar Billy House to be here, Deborah Pryor to be here. I see my wife and daughter just joined, so they're here. So you guys are gonna have my full attention to get some of this insight and an update on what we've done since the last summit. All right, so let me pause here. Go into our first break.
think we should have more summits like this. This is nice, but not every day is gonna be different.
All right, you guys, we are back at it. My daughter's gonna take over here and film, so you can get the camera set. Make sure I'm in it. All right, look,
Your toes aren't showing.
got to bring up the pole that's up.
We can see you.
Huh?
We can see you.
I don't want to be looking down. All right, everyone. Again, thank you for joining us. If you're going to take notes, again, I'm gonna give you guys the update since the last summit. Um, this section got the good news, and what I would say the good news since the last summit. Since the last summit, is, we have in East Mississippi. We have some of our leaders that are in the 20 U.S. cities that's paying more attention to what we're talking about and what we're doing. And so I think, for instance, Birmingham, Alabama, we got Memphis, but Mississippi is my biggest excitement because I just see how Mississippi and Blackest State in the Union, when they come up here for the summits or for the conventions, it will be a big deal. So we take for granted things that surround us that we have access to all the time. So like even us being here at Market Park, behind us, they had Martin Luther King statue here. But our local people tend to not take it as serious because they got a lot of other stuff going on. But I want you to think about people in Mississippi to take the whole weekend to come up to Chicago for this summit. It'll be a big deal. And what we're going to be talking about going over is relevant to them even down there in Mississippi or Memphis, Tennessee. And so it's designed so that people are traveling and to be together. Like that's the whole purpose of this, so people can move around so that they can hear the updates of what we're doing as a people. So actually, we got to go into South and Mississippi. State, like the state in America. There's no other state that's almost 40%. And we may be closer to 40%. We're at 37 10 years ago, census. But a lot of blacks have been moving back to Mississippi because of the economy. So it may be inadvertent that we get to that 40% that we need in the state of Mississippi. And for everyone to know why that matters so much, there are 7 states in America that's 90% white, 7 states. So when you say why is a black state, because you elect U.S. senators for every state, no matter the population. 2 U.S. senators. There's only 100 senators. So the fact that there's 7 states, that's 9 out of 10 people white. I mean, that's 14 senators. That's almost guaranteed 90%. So to say why does a 40% black state matter? I just gave you the example of why it matters. They have 14 senators that's guaranteed to look like them, and we don't have no state in America with 2 black senators. We can achieve that with Mississippi. So that's why that's such a big deal. And think about it from a power standpoint. The Senate is the most powerful legislative body in the world. The Senate can stop the president. And so to have, which we should have in America, 14 black senators. We should have 14 because of our population, but we only have 3, 2 Democrat, 1 Republican. So that just to give you some insight on why Mississippi is such a big, important thing. The other thing is Mississippi had towns and counties 80 and 90% black, and those counties and towns. So it shows you how our people in Mississippi need our help up here in the urban centers, down there in the rural centers. They need our assistance so that they can stand stronger than what they're standing right now. Because right now, some of them had a Stockholm syndrome where you may love the people that done you wrong a little bit too much. So I just would say it that way. But when they feel the strength of blacks in Chicago, in Gary, in Detroit, when they feel our support, I think they'll stand a little bit get some backbone and stand a little bit differently. All right, so that's why Mississippi matters so much. Uh, I gave you the governors that should ideally be here and the leaders who should be here. And now I want to go into the mail outs. So the mail outs we didn't do, we kind of stopped mailing out for now because what I was finding was to mail out, and it costs almost $1 now to mail out. When we get a lot of the mail back, if no one is going to call the people we mailed out to, it was almost wasting money. So we have 108 mail outs we do each month. And I know this month here, since the last summit, 23 people phones have been disconnected. That's the most that we've recorded. And so that tells me that people are financially going through some stuff that had their phones cut off and disconnected. And that's a problem I think that we have. Our Friday senior citizen call right now is the most stable thing we have going on right now. Unfortunately, it's the most stable thing, and we thank our elders for holding down that Friday fort. They're putting in 12 hours a month for the Friday senior call. Our Saturday youth piece, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. We got some work to do there, but I think we have to pour into our Saturday youth because the Friday seniors are cooking. The only thing left we want to do with the Friday seniors is we want to get them going to some breakfasts or lunches, at least quarterly, so that way they can interact with each other in person. All right, so now it's time to move over to the safety aspect. What time we got, Brian?
3:17.
All right, so let's get into the safety. So I guess let's talk national first, then we'll hone in on Chicago. So in a lot of the urban centers, crime is going down. We say violence is going down, and for you guys that follow me, I always state that you have to have HSN to really deal with this shooting and killing out here. HSN is Habit Schedule Network. So without HSN, unfortunately, without HSN, we're relying on government, we're relying on other people to save us. And it's really about how we use our time. That's our habits, our schedule, how we use our time, and then our network. Who are you talking to? Who's in your phone? Who's connected with you? And so those things matter, which is why block by block, we want to connect people where it makes sense at. So that's a big deal. So right now, President Trump has sent troops to Washington, D.C. This is little Washington, D.C., where we are right now. And so the federal troops and all the law enforcement agencies have taken over D.C. And President Trump said there was no murders in there since they've been there. So take that with a grain of salt because it's costing you money and that's not a sustainable occupation. But President Trump is talking about having those same troops go elsewhere too. And so we got to look at the pros and cons of that. I personally feel like blacks come together, coordinate together, do for self so we don't have to rely on government. But as you can see here with people not participating, coming out, that's going to be tough. This is an indicator of where we are as a people. And like I said before, we're everywhere. We're attending a lot of events. We're doing a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, we're going to do it again next year, same time. So that's how I see that. Also, our missing persons. So I got to go about missing persons. Black women, FBI says, is majority of the missing persons in this country. Black people as a whole are way too overrepresented when it comes to missing persons. There are many theories on that. I believe the fact that our Black women are missing is because of the lack of protection that they have. Our Black men, unfortunately, not anchoring our Black women the way we should be and could be doing. Some of them violating the young ladies. So we got some work to do, and we got to be able to speak about it, call it out, call attention to it, and not be worried about offending people. And then on the other note, you guys know we ask people that if you see any vans in our neighborhoods, any vans that doesn't have windows or that have like all blacked out or they got the all steel, we want you to write the license plate number down and call 312-405-8844 and let us know. When you call us, you can text too. Let us know the van, the license plate number. The text will let me know the date and time. And we keep our log. We have a registry of all the white vans, beige van, black vans that we can't see inside because we feel like those vans in our neighborhoods that we don't know about could be picking up our women and children. So we want to have our own database, not relying on the government, so we can kind of pay attention to them and know what neighborhoods that those vans was last seen operating in. So the takeaway with the missing persons is we hold the power. We got to make certain that block by block that we're connected with each other. That's why it's so important to work this process that we have. Alarms issued. Fire alarms issued. Those buckets matter over there too, y'all. So just so y'all know, those buckets do matter. All right, that was the governor. She on her way. But going back to the fire alarms, I want to give you guys that update. So we have over 150 fire alarms still available, smoke alarm, and we want to make sure that any block that needs them, we can get them to you. It's serving us no purpose, just holding them, and they're free. So you get them free. Call me 312-405-8844, and I'll make sure you get them. Then every Monday is safety day. So ideally, don't let a Monday go by if you don't have no working smoke alarm. That's for your family safety. All right, fourth graders, and we're gonna talk about education in a minute. But fourth graders are linked to police officers. All right, sorry about that, you guys. We are outside, so you got to get all these noises. I'm gonna lean in a little bit more. So fourth graders are linked to police officers. So we want to make sure that our people, block by block, if you have any fourth graders on the block or third graders, because we know they'll be hitting fourth grade next year, that we talk to them about supporting this concept of police pipeline. If we as Black people hate the police, even though what they've done to us, they're Black police. They're Black people who risk their lives every day too. So we want to at least start with our 9-year-olds, our fourth graders, and try to get a pipeline of Blacks supporting police, the good police, not the ones that's evil, but the good ones. So that's what our fourth graders, just so you guys know structurally. And then we have our ninth graders that's linked to our vacant buildings. So that's tied to our missing persons, our ninth graders. So I wanted to put that out there under safety. Fourth graders for our police pipeline, the new recruits, and then the ninth graders for our vacant lots, our vacant buildings, making sure we keep up and keep track. All the people that own vacant buildings, at least in Chicago, they have to register them. They have to have the name of their name and their address on the building. So that's going to help us to keep track. And we're going to have a conversation with them about supporting our freshmen, our ninth graders. All right, so now we're switching over to our youth report. I'm at 54%, so we going. So the youth report, every Saturday is Youth Day. So that's a big deal. Today is Saturday, so we should be doing things for our young people, making sure they feel good and they growing and development. That's why we take them out of town so they can travel and meet new people. So now let's talk about the partial allowance program. Call it PAP, partial allowance program. So the PAP is designed so that we can get primarily our young people who may be off track, that we can bring our young people into some structure. And so what the parent would do is they would ask that child to, not ask, but kind of demand that that child come and participate with us. Like that's a big part of it. We want to make sure. So if you got a 15-year-old son that's starting to hang out with the wrong crew, we want to make sure that you say, okay, I'm not giving you your $100 allowance. I'm giving it to National Block Club University. They're going to double it. Hey, you're going to get $200, but you have to go with them every Tuesday. You have to go with them every Saturday. And so by doing that, now they have structure. They're connected to a network of people who's going to be constructive in their life. They're going to meet new people. They're going to learn and gain confidence and introducing themselves. So the partial allowance program is you meet halfway, we meet the other halfway because we're investing in our young people. And then they get to learn under our structure and our system. So that's one aspect for the partial allowance program with our youth. The rites of passage for our 18 to 21-year-olds. The rites of passage for our 18 to 21-year-olds. So when the governor gets here, I'm gonna give her one of these papers that will show what we're doing with all of our 5-year-olds to 21-year-olds, and that's something that everyone should take a look at. But I want to talk about the 18 to 21-year-olds in particular. Sorry, you guys, this person is knocking me off. All right, you guys. Sorry about that. When people call me, it knocks me off. So I apologize for that. We got more people that's coming in, so I'm gonna have to stand up in a minute. But going back to what I was saying, the rites of passage for our 18 and 21-year-olds. Um, we have 4 agendas, you guys. That's important when we look at our young people. The 18-year-olds, we want them linked up and supporting Mississippi. I gave you the reason why Mississippi matters. So imagine our 18-year-olds nationwide being committed to those that state. That's going to help us when we talk about the Black population and all of that stuff. So that's why that matters such a deal. Our 19-year-olds, our 19-year-olds are linked to our U.S. citizens. Duncan, come on over here, my brother. Yeah. So our 19-year-olds. No, yeah, you don't wanna be in the sun, or you want to be in the sun? Okay. All right, let me give you a copy of this. You can, huh? Of course you do. This is our brother Duncan Ellington, you guys. So he's seeing himself for the first time. Uh, you feel special, man. So we going over the youth part right now. So uh, the 19-year-olds, all 19-year-olds are asked to support your sister cities. So like Duncan, he lives in a zip code that's linked to New Orleans, 60615. And so the 19-year-olds in that zip code ideally would be helping us to get people from New Orleans to Little New Orleans and Chicago and vice versa. So that's what 19-year-olds do. That's the rites of passage. Then our 20-year-olds help us when it comes to the continent of Africa, because Africa is such an important place. So our 20-year-olds help us with putting resources, which is pennies, in the continent of Africa. We have about 10 African countries that's going to watch this video, connected, and they really benefit from what we do when we do our pennies to Africa. And we want our 20-year-olds all over America helping us with that as part of the rites of passage. Then we have 21-year-olds, which is grown-ups now. They can legally drink. Those 21-year-olds, we want them helping us right here in our zip codes. So that's the rites of passage by 18 and 21-year-olds. See, it's 3:30 now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you guys And Duncan, you too, you chime in, jump in. If you got any thoughts or questions on what we're talking about, that'll add to it. It's being recorded so people will know that. So we talked about the partial allowance program, and we talked about the rites of passage when it comes to our young people. I got 2 more points I want to make, then I'm going to open it up. So we got the status of our 12-year-olds pipeline to housing. Status of 12-year-olds pipeline to housing. Then the evaluations of our donations going to the different youth groups. So I'm going to talk about those 2 things. So what I mean by the status of our 12-year-olds in the pipeline is when you hit 13, you are a teen. So 12 is 12. 13 is teen, right? So before they get to their teen years, have we kind of gave them the lay of the land? Do they know what to expect before they hit 13? And the reason the housing part is such a big deal, because what we found in Chicago, in DC, and Philadelphia, our Black young people are homeless at an astronomical rate. And so the housing part is a big deal. And before they turn 13, we want to make super duper sure that if they housing not stable, that we look at the zip code, we look at the village, and see what can we do to create stability there. And sometimes auntie, grandmama, whoever they stand with, they need help. We got a grandmama right here on the 606-20 zip code on 80th. She got 3 grandchildren because the mama was killed on the expressway, and she need help out of this work. This here goes into this housing part. They got a roof over their head, but now she got 3 miles to feed. She got boys. They all boys. You know how boys want to get involved. So she need this piece that we're talking about, and only one of them is over 12. So this housing is stable, but how do we help grandmama, auntie who's taking care of children who they didn't anticipate they was going to have to raise? Any thoughts on that, Duncan? They can't see you, but they can hear you.
That's interesting that you are so aware of the community.
Can y'all hear Duncan? All right.
So how many would know that somebody had disparity of parenting because their parents lost a child, and then their grandparents
and traumatized.
They traumatized, and then their grandparents taking the load. Yes.
Y'all hear Duncan? He's saying it shows how in tune we are to what we're going through block by block in the 3rd largest city in America. Chi-Town ain't no punk. Chicago is a big old city, y'all. So to know what's happening is a compliment to y'all. This the governor of the zip code, Superstar Dabber. You got to meet Duncan Ellington and get your copies here.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Let me give you your copies here. You know, every day I'm grateful. Let me give you your copies. See, this is next level, y'all. See how big those are and colorful? That's the expensive work. We do black and white normally. Good to see you. We do black and white, but I cropped it. You know, I shrunk it and, you know, played with it. You know. It's off your Facebook. Yeah, that's your Facebook picture.
Oh, super fly. Taking pictures of me, I don't even know.
Well, look at the other pictures. See that? So we on the blue right now. The youth, we're going over the youth, and so the governor chime in whenever. But the last one is the evaluation of the donations to our youth group. So last month we got $790 in donations last month. It was huge for us. Throughout the whole year, we only get $1,000 in January on it because of my wife over there. That's my birthday month. You guys killed it on my birthday month. We get $1,000 So we were able to spend big in January, February, and then last month we was able to spend big because we got $790, unexpected. And so I want to talk about, we gave away $300 last month because we was just blessed with that extra. So 3 groups got money. 3 groups got it. The first one, it's 3 sides of town to y'all, us, west side, south side, east side. So the west side, it was given to Isaac Lewis. He's in Austin. He runs a young people's journalism club. They learning how to be journalists, y'all. They learning how to speak, how to tell the stories, news. They don't know computers, technology, all of that good stuff. And they older. They older. Like these are 17-year-olds you know, it's hard getting anyone over 15 to sit in a room with grown-ups. They don't want to be around grown people. So they in that room, y'all. So Isaac does a great job. He's right by the police station. I think it's 5000 West of Madison. And he's doing a great job. So he got $50 donation. And unexpected. That's the best part. Because he's in zip code 60644, we know the dollar donations that came in from that zip code did match that donation that he got. Okay. Then on the south side, over here, 60620, superstar Vernita Theater, that's acting, dancing, singing theater, right on 80th and Racine. She got $100. She got $100, and she's doing major stuff, you guys, with no funding, using her own money. But she got $100 out of us last month, and she did a youth entrepreneur piece that we couldn't support that, but the 100 was to her other event she did. And then we got sister, our former teacher, not former teacher, she's the teacher now, and she got 4 daughters. And because they was starting school back, needed school supplies, so she got $100 from us. So altogether, that was $250, and then we had a few stragglers that got $20, that type of stuff. So altogether, we gave away $300 to our youth to make sure that they know we love them. And so that, to me, is what we want to always do, and we want to do it in every single zip code. So that way, when you donate your dollars, it's staying in the zip code to bless our youth, seniors, and anybody else. Any thoughts on that? What do you guys think? I got a picture of that too, so y'all can see it. You guys can see it online, but they'll be able to see it first. Any thoughts on that? What do you guys think? This is what it looks like. So the yellow is the west side, so it shows Isaac, and where y'all don't have this is the only one. So it shows the 50 to him, then it shows the 100 to the green region, that's Vernita. Then it shows the 100 to our superstars, Shabri, on the southeast side. And last month, the 11th graders, the 8th graders, 4th graders, and 1st graders should be receiving the money from us. That's every month. We know the 4 grades that we want to give money to. And so that's kind of the setup. And we know in advance, we know for the whole year who should be getting the money if the locals don't do it. We have a plan. So ideally, you guys would do it in your own zip code, but just in case, we got it covered too. Doug, you want to get out the sign too? You sure? Okay. So that's it for the youth report. Now I want to switch over and talk about economics. I want to talk about money, because that's the only thing holding us back, y'all, right now, is the money. It's the only thing holding us back. So let's talk about the money. Our economy, that we feel our economy is going to grow astronomically because of information jobs that we create, travel jobs that we create, and real estate jobs that we create. We should not have other ethnic groups in our neighborhood doing things that we could be doing, from landscaping to roofing to electrical, plumbing. So we got to build our own database of our Black electricians, our Black carpenters, Black everything. It's nothing wrong with wanting to do for self. It's the first law of nature, self-preservation. To have other people in Black neighborhoods taking Black dollars out is blasphemy. It's blasphemy. It's shame on us as a people, but we got to do better. But what you gonna say to that, Doug?
Just listen right now.
Yeah. So the ITR, that's our economy, y'all. Information, travel, real estate. Information is gold. Information is gold. Just know this, that they've had to pass laws because people was tapping into your information. That's how it's liquid gold. They want your information because they want to predict when you go spend money. They want to be able to advertise to you to get money. It's all about your information. Block by block, we're the superstars because where you live at is all the information. On your block of 80 people, that's 80 different pieces of information. So we got to know that we can create jobs significantly with gathering information, processing information, storing information, sharing information. Like information jobs is for us to dominate as a people. Think about it right now. Do you have the information that tells you where all the Black carpenters are in Chicago? No, I know you don't. You might have some of it, but information, the minute you get it, is outdated. You got 30 carpenters, one of them just died this morning, now it's 29. So information is constantly changing. So you can never have all the information. That's why it's a job for it, to constantly be seeking out updated information. So that's why that's a big deal. So our economy, information, travel, real estate. This summit, the people from out of town should be here. That's success for us as a people, because that means they got ready Friday to come to Chicago for today's summit. Think about how big that is when Mississippi is getting ready to come up here, when Detroit is getting ready to come up here, when LA is coming here. And when they hear they fellowship it with they like brothers and sisters who's linked to their sister cities. That's what victory looks like, y'all, when that travel is happening and they're staying in our Airbnbs, they staying in our neck of the woods, and they spending money with our black businesses. So I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that's our economy. It's ITR. So $1,000 campaign. Got to talk about that. This is, I'm 50 years old, you guys. This has been the toughest challenge of my life ever. Getting 1,000 black people to pull together $1 electronic. I'm getting my butt kicked. We getting our butt kicked. We haven't been able to penetrate that goal just yet. I believe we're going to get there. I wouldn't be doing what I do if I didn't think we'd get there. But it got to be a spiritual pressure put on our people to say, we can do this. We got to do this. And so until we do that, y'all, we're not moving collectively as a whole. And I can't say that big enough. You got black groups doing wonderful stuff everywhere, all over America. Black groups doing wonderful stuff, pulling together thousands and thousands of dollars. But please know the difference between the 1,000 campaign. First thing is, this is 1,000 individuals. So 10 people can put together $100 and get to 1,000. So this ain't about just $1,000. This is about 1,000 people agreeing. And once they agree, executing on doing it. A lot of people agree, but don't do the second part, which is execute. So they agree, side, you got the $1,000, and they don't come in. We probably got 500 people who agree, but don't close it out. So when we get 1,000 people doing it, that means they agree and they execute. That's two functions, you guys. They agree and they execute it. Now think about the information jobs. Think about 1,000 people's information, that they are all carpenters, they all nurses, they all teachers. That information gonna help us. Think about those 1,000 that's retirees or adults or young people. That information gonna help us. Think about those 1,000 people who live in zip code 60629. Now we get to coordinate with them. That's gonna help us. So that information is everything, and that's why the 1,000 people doing $1 is gonna get us over the hump. And we're not gonna stop there. We're not gonna stop there with 1,000 people. Once we got 1,000 people anywhere doing it, then we go zip code by zip code. This zip code here should have 1,000 people in 60629 doing $1. Duncan zip code 60615 should have 1,000 people doing it there. So we're gonna grow it. Don't think the buck stops at 1,000. It starts at 1,000. Then we're gonna be able to take it in every neighborhood. There's 20 zip codes in Chicago. Can you imagine 20 zip codes, 1,000 people doing $8? That's $20,000 from public works, which is nothing to the people. Just imagine us being able to throw away $20,000 a month in our people. You're gonna have events packed out because they know the awards gonna be given out with money. They know that food is everywhere. They smelling it, they feeling it. They know the rental cars out there for people to get back home. We created vibrancy. Vibrancy. See, right now in our neighborhoods, I don't see vibrancy. Even at the Bud Billiken, I saw more people in the procession than watching it. Where's the black vibrancy at? Where's this bustling at for us? I see dry bones. I see desolate. I see other ethnic groups in our neighborhood feeling comfortable chilling out because we don't have vibrancy. Everybody's doing their own little pockets and stuff. So when we get our economy thriving like this, we gonna be like the Greyhound back in the day. Buses coming and going, pulling in, people getting off, they on their phones, pick me up. That's what I'm talking about. We moving around. People traveling, they got assignments, and we know information allowing us to know who the teachers are, who the nurses are, who the doctors are for every one of our age brackets. So just know the $1,000 campaign is not going nowhere. We got to make this easy. We got to get this before this year is out, y'all. We got to be able to do it. All that 1,000 represents is 500 people and their spouse. Thought about it that way, Doug? Just 500 people and they spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend. And now we at the 1,000. And once we get to the 1,000, now we got bragging rights to go and make other people believe. People don't like jumping on the bandwagon unless it look like it's winning. So when you hear me talking about we ain't got it, that makes some people walk away. I ain't touching that either. But we got to be truthful, you know? So once we get it, now people go jump on the bandwagon because people want to be on the winning team. That's just the way it is. So just know that that matters. We had $31 out of the 1,000 last month. So 31 people did it. Thank y'all, the 31 people who did it. Thank all of our $12 donors, which I didn't count in this. $790 is the total that came in. 31 was from the $1 campaign. And that is different than the $12 donors and any other donors. The $1 donors is what's crucial at this point because we need 1,000 people to name their 4 Black businesses and do stuff like that. So just know the 1,000 campaign is separate, different, and it's the most crucial thing for us to do right now. Any thoughts on that, though, Don?
Yeah. The, the, the thing that is made most is
Travel and real estate.
okay. I was talking the other day with my daughter.
Oh,
And
which
I
daughter? You got Joy. Okay. Superstar Joy. Shout out to Joy.
And so what I was saying to her, with the information age and AI and technology taking mostly the labor jobs out of the market, that what do you think is gonna mostly survive?
Job wise,
Job,
what she said?
really good answer, but I gave her my answer. But transportation, because no matter how much technology is always on the merchandise, it is going to be transferred and or distributed to the people. Even though they might be sitting at home,
Yeah.
buying, selling,
Right.
purchasing, it's still somebody's going to have to deliver it to the person. And the only thing that could possibly change that is what they say in technology will get is self driving cars and stuff like that. But I don't think we're nowhere near in a mad situation.
Did y'all hear what Duncan brought up? Because I want to speak to that. That's a good point. So he's saying with technology, AI, and then self-driving cars, that a lot of the labor jobs going bye-bye. And what he feel is the future is transport, logistics, moving products and stuff around. That's what can hold us on while they get rid of the labor jobs. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Any thoughts, you guys? I'm gonna give my 2 cents. No. So this is what I would say to that, you guys, because he's right. And I want to say this so everyone would know this. We as Black people, we got to keep in mind that a lot of what's happening was designed, and it might have not been designed just to keep Blacks down, but we got to know the people who put this together are the descendants of the savages. These are people who are all about greed, who's all about take. A lot of the stuff that they've done is off kilter, is off center. We village people as Black people. So we shouldn't play their game just because they create the game. We shouldn't just go in just because they did it. Some of us, of course, can play the game, but for the most part, we got to become almost like the Asian community. They're a tight-knit community. They don't let everybody in. You can create what you want to create, but guess what? We are going to make sure that my storefront on 2323 that's selling the same things 2325 selling, but I'm going to be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm going to open Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. They still got their days off, but they synchronize even though they're doing the same thing. So we got to know, just because they created this don't mean we got to participate in it. We got to have our own Airbnb. We got to have our own Lyft, Uber. We don't have to play their game because they did it, because these are the unrepentant people who don't even want to pay reparations for how they got the money that they got to create what they create. So I just think in just 2 more decades, we're going to be the most populous people on planet Earth, almost 3 billion people. So what they created that don't mean we got to play that game. I think when we do for self, they'll be coming to us to play our game versus us playing their game. What do you think about that?
Yeah. And another thing about it is ownership and power and authority has a lot to affect with the environment. I was listening to, I don't know if you said this on social media. Social media, like you say with the information, is what you pay attention to. So there's a lot of going out about eradicating or dumbing down or removing our history from the education system. And one of the things that is debatable is how our past history affected us then and how what we're living in now is still affecting us. And a lot of people deal with statistics, the numbers.
Right.
And what I'm saying is that, well, that 2% of white that that owned slavery
Yeah, I heard that.
back in the day.
I heard that. Yeah.
But the effect of the economy is affecting the whole building of the United States. So let's take it to the modern day. Only a few people own these media, Apple, or Google, Amazon, or Bill Gates of Microsoft.
Mhm.
All this technology is majorly owned by a few people.
Big time.
But
Yeah.
the effect is
Worldwide.
They're colonizing and subjugating our people socially by what they put out and influence us to fall in and believe in that. Well, we grab out of stuff about thinking about the other man is going to not train us of our own self-worth,
Right.
our own self-ability. If you don't realize the effect of someone else working with you, you're not realizing the power of your ability to work as an individual with others.
Now, so I would say what Duncan just said, to sum it up, the bottom line is we can't play their game because a few people control everything you're hearing and seeing. California is the most dangerous state for Black people in America because Northern California controls all the technology, Southern California controls all the entertainment, and both of them things is kicking Blacks' butt. Am I off? You know, Microsoft is in the Silicon Valley is Northern California. That's where they all at. That's where they all at. Yeah.
That's where they had to preach their ass. Right.
Yeah, that's where they all at. Yeah. So Silicon Valley, and it's sad. The good thing is Ibrahim Traore and Burkina Faso, they're creating their own internet. All right. That's the game changers when Africa stands up and stop giving our resources to the oppressors, the descendants of the savages. Then they're going to be the ones. Like right now, France is starting to starve. They don't have the uranium that they used to have. Their lights prices is going up. That's the power of us stopping the exploitation that's happening to us all around the world. So we got to get ready to have one foot in Africa, one foot out of Africa, because they are the key for the future of the whole world. But going back to exactly what you were saying, the tech giants and the media, just know that the game is almost over for them because they've been able to hide things because of information. Now, with especially YouTube, you can't hide what you used to be able to hide no more. They still can censor it a little bit, but just know that it's getting increasingly hard. And that's why TikTok matters, because China controls TikTok. See, Silicon Valley can censor you. They censored me for over a year because of things that I was saying that didn't match with what they wanted to hear. They couldn't do that with TikTok because it's owned by a foreigner. Now they want to make them sell it. So just know that that's why what Africa is doing is important, because we need options. We need options, you guys. All right. So to name your four.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, yeah, of course, man. It's open forum.
Like was said earlier about as many organizations that we have, but we seem to work separately instead of together. And that's a problem. And you don't realize that the need for a body to work together, our body. And I'm encouraged by dollar concept, even though it looks like it is like, but it's sloppy. Like, hey, so lose a dollar if you pull change out your pocket and find out Really. So the thing with me is I was talking to another brother as I said, that was Sarah is like got an organization called Real Freedom. And so trying to get the back that you have. We have. So the thing is that just like I was surprised about you really can't see unless you come up and see what's good. And so
Yeah.
he was saying that what he's trying to do with his group is dealing with more or less capitalism instead of non-profit. But then everything's a profit. I don't see something that is capitalized as a profit that doesn't need a service that is big, that may not be to be non-profit, but it's serving the community off of the capitalism or the profit that these other large corporations make. That's it.
I think
Right now, I'm in a situation where capitalist tax agents are trying to provide service with public schools. But now I'm getting laid off. So I don't know if you probably knew about this, but I'm getting laid off September the 30th. And they asked me to speak about the disparity of being laid off. But I wanted to add with why is it always a shortage of funds for what needs to build the country or provide a mindset of serving youth to have a hope of opportunity in the future because of their education. But they won't they never have a shortage of funds for the prison system.
But you know the answer to that already, though. You know the answer. So
people were saying it's cost to make more money out of that.
The United States of America is a capitalist economy, capitalist. What that means is that the people want to capitalize off of others. It's about exploitation. It's not win-win. That's more on the socialism side. This is about I'm going to exploit a weakness. I'm going to take advantage. That's what capitalize. I'm going to take advantage of something. And this is the challenge for us. We were the capital. Enslaved people was how they built their capitalist society. They took advantage of free labor. They took advantage. Then they insured the free labor so they can make money when they died. So this country was built off of that capitalism, and all capitalism isn't bad. But we got to make sure that we, as Black people, that we in the middle. We don't do what we call them dots. The descendants of the savages do, which is full-blooded capitalism. Don't care about nobody. You know what I mean? 300% interest rate, stuff like that. You don't have to be like that. If you're a landlord, you don't have to play the game, charge as expensive rent. You know what we're dealing with in the community. You can be more moderate, make sure you still get profit that you can capitalize, but it don't have to be to the greed level that they do. So I think that's important for us to know that. The other piece is what they've been doing. France been capitalizing off of Nigeria's uranium. That's how they power their nuclear plants. France used to brag to the rest of Europe about how they don't depend on Russian oil for their fuel, they gas, because they was getting it out of Africa. And they built the most nuclear plants in all of Europe. And now Nigeria said no more uranium, and now they having to buy from Russia, and Russia charging them triple and double. You know, so they in a world of trouble because they built their society on capitalizing on exploiting someone else, which in this case was Nigeria. So my point is, they're in a hard place because Blacks are rising up, and they built their whole model on exploitation, and it's just we're not gonna keep going. So it's teetering to collapse.
So do you think that's gonna cause America to collapse also?
It's gonna cause not Black America. So you get me going. You make me go deep. White America collapse, not Black America. It's a difference. And we got great white people. Let me say that. I'm friends with some great white people. So let me be real clear. The elite white 1%ers, that's what's gonna collapse. Because they so exploitive, they hurt they poor white people. It's all about greed. You don't care about none of them, but the skin color is even more hatred when it comes to exploiting them. But they're hurting the poor whites in West Virginia and Kentucky. Medicare is out of reach, so they hurting them, and these people are spending $5 million for a picture. So, you know what I mean? That greed, that degree of greed, it's enough money that they can easily take care of people. But because that model is about exploiting people, taking advantage, that's why they don't. So that system is getting ready to collapse very, very soon. The white 1%, mainly white men to be exact, they're in a world of trouble. They're in a world of trouble. And I would say Africa waking up, the world needs that, which is why BRICS matters so much. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, because you got to balance Western Europe, which is a thorn of the world's problem. Remember, Great Britain colonized 90% of the whole world. So they went disrupting whole civilization. And to this day, you got people that don't like their own people because of what Britain did when they came in and separated the people. So just know that they got some reckoning to pay for that. So let's talk about the Send $5 campaign with the Name Your Four, because that's a big deal, y'all. Every Wednesday is Economic Day. Every Wednesday. It's 4 Wednesdays every single month, sometimes 5 Wednesdays. So what we're saying is, as a people, you can stay, do what you do, but can we at least once a week not give money to people who are unrepentant, who don't care about what we've been through? Can we at least do that? So if we're doing that and we're spending money with people that look like us, just like every other ethnic group do, Chinatown, Greektown, Little Italy, then we should be able to name 4 Black-owned businesses that we personally circulated money with. And if we can't name 4, what does that say? And I get it. Some people say, I don't buy stuff no more. Well, at least send money to 4 Black risk takers, entrepreneurs. So you can say, I circulated money with 4 business Black owners each for the month. That's personal. My wife can't use my 4. She got to use her own 4. So the key is, can we personally be responsible for that? And if you can't, what we're saying is, can you send $5 to these 4? And we're giving you the 4 Black businesses every single month. That if you can't name 4 on your own, you just blast $5 to them. Please know the spiritual connection to that. If you're a business owner and you got 1,000 people sending you $5 for no reason, what do you think that's going to do to their spirit? I know, because what my wife did in 2018 when she sent that notice out, and we're sitting in TGIF, and my cash out was ringing so much it got to be embarrassing, because everyone around kept hearing that cash out noise. So I know what that feels like to see that much money constantly coming in. You can't cut it off. It's just, like the lottery. Imagine when 1,000 people sending $5 to this Black barbershop, to this Black nail tech, because of the Send 5 campaign. That's what we're trying to build, where our Black risk takers feeling good at least once a year. and that takes away that feeling like, man, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't doing nothing. No, you see examples of it. And it didn't hurt you because it was just $5 we sent to 4 Black business. So I just wanted to put that out there. Any thoughts on what do you think about that, Duncan?
That's good.
It's simple.
It's a Black business yesterday, barbecue place.
Hey, as long as you can name your 4 at the end of the month, that's all that matters. That's what we after. So, all right. Construction. Let's talk about construction, you guys. Charles, you on here yet? I can't see. Governor Charles gonna get on here for the education piece. So, all right. So, construction. Now, I'm gonna say it this way, you guys. It says something that in Black neighborhoods from coast to coast, that we have people that don't look like us in our neighborhoods doing roofing, plumbing, painting, landscaping. Think if we step back and think about this. So Black people who've been marginalized and capitalized off of now have people coming in their neighborhoods and making money off of them. In addition to that, they're cutting grass and they're saying, why you not doing it? Well, there are barriers that are erected to ensure that we have as most difficult time as we can. Right now, as my way coming here, I love coming to shops. I get a chance to see. I saw some undocumented people selling corn right at the library. I personally know my people who selling ice cream cones at the same library, and they told them, you ain't got no permit, you got to get out of here. Example, Exhibit A. How can they be there? How can they be there selling corn and we can't sell snowballs 5 years ago there? What changed? What's the difference? So what I'm saying is there are barriers erected against dark-skinned melanated people that's not there for other people. And so when we talk about construction, to be doing landscaping in our neighborhood, we can't cut grass. To do roof and gutters, we can't do that. So my point is, we got to be intentional as much as we can on making sure that our dollars circulate with our people. You go in other people's neighborhoods and you don't see that. And to my people on the West Coast, in the South, you guys might say, why y'all hark on race so much? We are in the most segregated city in America. That's Dr. King tribute right here behind us. This is where they hit him with a brick at. This is where he said he never seen more racism than any other place. Dr. King said that. Google it. He said that. He was talking about right here where we at, Marquette Park. So we live in segregation, and the city is still segregated, much better than it was. But just know the reason we talk about it so much because we in ground zero of a segregated city to this day. And to now have other people moving in our neighborhoods because they literally was left alone to die out, exploited, Red X, and now others got resources and support and embassies helping them. They can come right in. So they got a lot of help doing construction in our neighborhoods. Thank God for Reverend Taylor, Omar Sharif, our brother Bob Israel, Mark Carter. These are superstars out there in the construction field, in the trades, putting Black men to work, Black ladies too. And we got to support that more so. So every fourth Monday of the month is our construction day, welders, carpenters, bricklayers, plumbers. If you got children that want to be welders, carpenters, bricklayers, and plumbers, that fourth Monday is next Monday. Get them on the call, 312-405-8844. Probably illegal person who did that. They kept going. It's a black Toyota Corolla. If you guys want to write that down, black Toyota Corolla just happened at 1606. That's 406, 67th and Kedzie, 67th and Man. Black car hit the gray car. The gray car pulled over. The black car kept going. So report they butt because that's unacceptable. That's savage behavior to hit someone and then keep going. I hope you pay for that, for doing that. I don't play like that. So anyway, going back to construction in our neighborhoods, and that's why we behind a wrought iron fence on purpose, you guys, because we know it's some crazy going around here. So landscaping is a job that we gotta control something in the hands-on trade field. Landscaping, we gotta control it. I wanted us to do it this year, 2025. We gotta do it 2026, y'all. But let's use every month from now until next March to get our lawnmowers together. If you're a rich Black person, don't come in here giving us turkeys. Buy us the riding lawnmowers. Let's saturate every zip code with riding lawnmowers so I put our people to work. We should not have people who don't care about reparations in our neighborhood making money off of us. We need to be doing that. I can't stress that enough. That's not racist. Because if you say that's racist, then you're saying you okay with Blacks staying on the bottom. Because I'm saying do for self. If you're saying no, it should be anybody, then that means you're comfortable with where Black people are, which is on the bottom. Am I off?
What I need to add is give each of us quality work. Stop having the stereotypical word go out that I'm not trusting my own brother because they might not give us the integrity for quality work. We need to make sure when we represent these companies and these Black-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, that they have integrity. That's quality work.
So what Duncan's saying, you guys, is don't give us your negative energy. Don't give us your ready for us to fail so you can say, see, that's why I don't do business with Black people now. Give us quality work that's going to allow us to show you that we built the pyramids. That's going to allow you to see that we got it in our blood, the excellence. We just been beat down so much that you don't see it as much. So that's what Duncan is saying, and I'm fully on board. I tell us, be slow. Please be slow to hold us to the final, I'm not doing business no more standard. Please be slow to do that. I get it. It's your money. Do what you want. But please be slow. Give us some grace. Don't reward slothfulness, because there's a difference. But let's be as graceful as we can with each other because we know what we up against. Structures and systems beating us all down. So landscaping we need to control 2026. That's the takeaway. All right. Now we on education. Governor Charles, you on it? Yeah, I can't see the sun beaming so hard. All right. So I'm gonna do Governor Charles section, you guys. Do Governor Charles section if he's not on yet. Okay, yeah, he's not on yet. All right, so education. All right, let's talk about this, y'all. School is back in session in Chicago. It's been in session for about 2 weeks in Gary, Indiana, and in Georgia. It's been in session for probably a month now. And I hate to say this, y'all, but what are they gonna learn? Like, what they gonna learn? They're gonna learn, unfortunately, things that is not rooted in the truth, like Christopher Columbus discovered America. They're gonna learn that our history started with slavery, not mass motion. You know what I mean? Because we still live in a structured environment that want to keep wannabe white insecurity on top, not white superiority, white insecurity on top. And so telling the truth hurts, and that's why we don't see that. So our children gotta have us reinforcing that education that they're gonna get in the compulsory system. That's gonna kind of teach them half truths and whatnot. So from an education standpoint, we want to make certain that every one of our young people, block by block, know about kindergarten through 12th grade university. Every one of our K through 12th grade students know about kindergarten through 12th grade university. My daughter's here, she's 9th grade. She's getting ready to create the YouTube channel for 9th grade university TV. 9th grade university TV. You already know what the show gonna be about. 9th grade. It's gonna be about read, math, science for 9th graders. If you got a 10th grade at home, we want them to create 10th grade university TV. We need to create this reinforcement education so they got a way that they can watch a video and see where they might be struggling at a math problem and they get solved by another 9th grader in Mississippi or Detroit. 9th grade is 9th grade in the U.S. from a standard standpoint. So we want to make certain that we do that, child. The man, what's up, Grover Reed? All right. Good to see you, man. That's Superstar Grover Reed. We're going to do that introduction so our superstars know each other here. Man, Grover, you want to come in the sun because it's beating us up here. And I'm going to talk louder too. So what we want to make certain that those channels get put up before the year is out. Like I said, my daughter's going to do 9th grade university TV. We want to get, now the kindergartners, we might have to do it for them. I have some grown up lead the kindergarten university TV. Governor Deborah, you heard what I was saying? Mariah's going to create 9th grade university TV on YouTube. We want to get it for every grade, but our kindergarten is going to need some parental help to create kindergarten university TV. But on the education front, we want to see that happen. We think that's going to be real helpful to have that repository for that. Speaking engagements. So please let us know if you're on a parent-teacher council or you're on a local school council, whatever your school is in Chicago, because we have a curriculum that will allow us to come into the classroom. And the beauty is they will walk away knowing their career field, what country in Africa that career field is linked to. They're going to walk away knowing the 7 daily living habits. So they'll know on Friday to pay homage to our elders. So we want to get into these schools to speak to the children and make sure that they know these basic things. And Grover is open, so just shout out whatever. I repeat it. We live, so you know. So speaking engagements are a big deal, and we want to do this nationwide, but we got to anchor Chicago first and Gary. So Chicago, Gary, right now, let's bulk this up, and then we go get to Detroit, St. Louis, Milwaukee, because they in the Midwest. Then we'll stretch out even further to places like Birmingham, Memphis. But we got to get to our children in the schools so they'll know that all plumbers are linked to 12th graders. That's their all 3rd graders got restaurants supporting them. They need to hear that so they can help us make that. So I think the speaking engagements go put us out there to do that. 6th graders, all 6th graders, we're asking them to learn about the African minerals. 6th graders learn about the African minerals. Why 6th graders? Because we got some for every grade to do. This for the 6th graders. But why African minerals? Other non-Black people are in mining school. They learning about mining, and they don't even have a continent for nothing to mine. Africa is where everything is, but they getting degrees in mining. Where they gonna go and mine at? In Africa. So we want to start early. So we want to get our sixth graders to start learning about cobalt, Coltrane, lithium. What powers, like, is that cell phones, those batteries? So we start at sixth grade, getting them introduced to this, getting them into that. Then they can start saying, unlike any other race of people, cobalt is only found in Congo. That's where my people from. It should be some additional pride from African American children when it comes to the minerals. They coming from where your people coming from, you know? So sixth graders, any thoughts on that? Too close to that, but should start earlier. What do you? Can you hear, bro?
Yeah. Yeah. What he just mentioned about the mining, I don't never hear about anything about mining.
Of course not. The whose advantage?
What was the thing that they on coal mining? What happened to the coal mining? They gone.
Yeah, that coal, yeah, coal played out. You know, they went, yeah, that was the West Virginia, Kentucky. That's what put a lot of white boys out of work.
Oh, okay. So mostly the mining is over in Africa.
Bill Clinton, NAFTA did away with primarily manufacturing here, 1993. Remember NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement? So that's when they kind of took all the dirty stuff in America we was doing and put it somewhere else. But that created jobs for them other people. You know what I mean? Because now coal is dirty. Yeah, coal is dirty. Yeah, it gives you cancer. Yeah, it's a problem, but yeah, and it pollutes the ozone layer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still one Earth. So whether China do it or we do it, we still all polluted. You know what I mean? So I ain't understand the logic behind that. But so sixth graders with the minerals, the seventh graders electoral college.
Stuff.
Uh,
So what would they gain by knowing about mining? They can't get a job mining. Just to go to Africa.
Now that's a good point. What do our sixth graders gain and learn about mining? Remember, every student, kindergarten through 12th grade, they're connected to an African country based on their career field. So if a child want to be a scientist, that's Ghana. If a child want to be a teacher, that's Tanzania. Every one of our professions is linked to an African country. So when a sixth grader tells they want to be a basketball player, that's Senegal. What minerals are in Senegal? Remember, all African American children is linked to the continent based on their career field. Learning about the minerals allow you to tie why they should be rich, you know what I mean, in the African country. So that's the link, is it's making them learn not the slavery part, but the rich part of all 20 countries in Africa. Yeah. So every one of them sixth graders, they will be able to tell you what country in Africa they link to. And we want to know what's the mineral then. You know? So yeah. What do you think, bro? Look, see? Say it loud, girl. Phosphates is crucial to grow anything. And the most of it is in Africa and the whole world. Without that, you ain't growing nothing. And Africa got it.
It's great soap.
It keeps the soil intact so it doesn't run off. So without that, it'd be runoff and stuff can't anchor. So the governor said limestones. What else you say? Phosphates and limestones. So that's what's there. Africa is full of, God put those things in Africa. We didn't. Man didn't do it. God did it. So just know we should learn about it so we can get ready to make the connection. Seventh graders have electoral college. What is electoral college? Electoral college is the scheme. It's the scheme that white men did to ensure that they was able to elect the president and not the people. Am I right?
I don't know. That's why they have electoral college, because whatever party gets the most votes in a certain state, if they have, that's population in some state, in that party, that's not that's how
that's That's good. Y'all heard about electoral college? Y'all know what that is? Electoral college. So the best way I like to describe it, it's a scheme. They schemed this up, and the scheme is so that they can maintain control. That's really what it boiled down to. So essentially, the way it works is every state have their state legislature together. So like Illinois, they got the state legislature. Now, what they're going to do, Illinois, I think, got 22 electoral votes total. So depending on how the state votes will determine who gets those 22 votes. Someone is getting all the votes. They ain't getting 11, no, all of them. So if Illinois vote more Republican, the Republican nominee get all 22 votes. If the state vote more Democrat, the Democrat get all 22 votes. So that's how it's set up. And California has the most electoral votes out of all 50 states because of how big it is.
Okay, so then, so let's talk about the population, comparing to the party.
Well, that's where, so the way I like to describe it is your turnout would determine the number of votes, and that'll determine who gets those electoral college votes. But the biggest problem is, why not let the population decide who the president is? Meaning whoever gets the majority votes. The purpose of electoral college is because just because they all, if Illinois vote mostly Republican, the Republicans don't have to do what they said because they the ones who cast the electoral votes, not the people. So it took the power away from the people and gave it to the legislators to say they should do the will of the people, but they can choose not to. We saw that with Kamala Harris and whoever else is going to run against her. They wanted the party to back Kamala Harris, meaning the electoral votes Biden got will go to her. Remember that? Because the legislator could have chose to do something totally different. Because the power is in them, not the people. That's the problem. I say it's a scheme. And we want 7th graders to master that and learn that. No, but that's going to help us if the 7th graders get started. Then they got 5 years to get it, together. All right. Now, did Charles get on yet? Okay. All right. Nope. So now the awards. So, like I said, this month the awards are going to 11th graders, 8th graders, 4th graders, and 1st graders. 11, 8, 4, and 1, 1st grade. So if you are a business owner in any one of those grades, we can get Grover this. Mariah, come here. Get this to Grover here. Give him his copy. There's 2 of them. Hold on. So if you are, all right. So now we're going to look at the map so you guys can just follow what I'm saying verbally, but I want to show our people who's physically here with us. All right. So if you are a 11th grader, all electricians put money into 11th graders. So if you're an electrician, we want you to put some money into 11th grade awards because this is the month. We only got 5 more days left this month so that the 11th graders can compete and win the money that you put in. So that's for our 11th graders. Also, 8th graders, all barbers put money into 8th graders. So all the barbershops, if y'all can put money into 8th graders, because this month we want to make sure 8th graders compete and win some money. 4th graders, all police officers are linked to 4th graders. All landscapers are linked to 4th graders. So if you cut grass, if you're police, we want you to put some money up for the 4th grade awards. Then finally, the 1st graders, my wife is a seamstress, all gardeners put money into 1st graders. So we want to see Tennis Legacy put some money up for the 1st graders before the 5 days is up. So let's talk about that. What do y'all think about that? And we're looking at this one here. This is all the grades here. The yellow side. These are the businesses on the blue side. Any thoughts on that, you guys? What y'all think? Yep. Yep. The governor said, how do they, number one, know about it? What's the process? How they get it? So every day, every second, Governor, we're meeting people. Every second, Like you would send me your auntie, cousin. So we're meeting people. And on the phone, in person, when we meet people, we're gathering information. So we the nosy people. We're gathering. Well, block, what zip code, who you know in Mississippi, do you got any third graders, fifth graders, got any grandchildren? That's how we get to know because we're doing this information gathering on every single person. We by doing that, we've built up mailing labels for every grade. So we got literally mailing labels, and we every month, this summit here, we close out the month and we look at the new month. So we got all the 10th graders from last year, we moved them over to 11th grade, unless they fail. So now we got our steady list, and then your new people go on to that list as well. So the way we do that on the mailing labels, we have black font for the old school and new people are red. New 11th graders are red. So that way we can know if they knew or not, meaning they don't know nothing about what we're doing. So we hold their hand a little bit differently. So the quick answer to your question is the way we get the list of them is by talking to black people. That's how we get the list with everything. We talk to our people and we write it down. And the sheet that they're looking at in person here is how we write down the information and how we keep it. So if you are a kindergarten through third grader, our sister Jackie Harris, we give her that list. That's her right there. That's her picture right there. Jackie Harris, she keeps our list of all kindergarten through first graders, third graders for us. So if you tell me right now, Duncan, you got a third grader, when you give me that info, guess what I'm giving? I'm giving it to her. Danielle Liddell keeps our list of fourth graders to sixth graders. You see her, Grover? So Liddell, she's our West Side superstar. She got a daughter in eighth grade, graduate, but she keeps the list of our fourth through sixth graders. So fourth graders get money this month. Police officers late to fourth graders. So when I meet the police, I'm saying, hey, holla at Danielle. She go get that money from you and make sure it gets in the hand of a fourth grader. That's how that works. Then Eben Credit keeps the list of all our seventh and eighth graders. So Eben Credit got the ones getting ready to graduate next year, eighth graders. Eighth graders get money this month. So again, any barbers that's on board with us, we're gonna make sure Eben can talk to the barbers, say, hey, got the list of them eighth graders. Come on, give us the money. Let's do it. And then 11th graders are getting it. So Darlena Battle is our leader for all the high schoolers, 9th through 12th grade. 11th graders are getting the money this month. So Darlena would get it from the electricians and put it there. So you see how that's set up? So we know based on every grade who's going to help us handling that information. Did that answer your question, Gunn? Okay. If you look right on the other side, you'll see the black business leaders, and they every Wednesday is economic day. So they keep it going with economics. So if you look right there, you see Mike. I didn't put their names on it. Okay, Mike Perkins is the first picture there. Mike Perkins. He keeps a list of all the apparel people, all the beauticians, all the chefs, all the disc jockey DJs, all the entertainers, all the farmers, all the restaurants, all the seamsters, and all the travel agents in Chicago. And every first Wednesday, he makes sure he check in with them. That's a lot of responsibility, but that's making sure that those professions, those risk takers are hearing from us on the first Wednesday of the month. What you think about that, Grove? Grove say that's a lot, y'all. You say that's a lot, huh? Well, I can tell you, they don't get on. We want to make it better, but it's set up for them whenever they ready, you know? Uh, but people want to get on the winning team. When we start looking like we winning, it'll light up. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So this is Rady Kilpatrick next to underneath Mike Perkins. Rady, she keeps the list of all our non-black owned businesses that is in our neighborhood everywhere, but she keeps the list of the black owned. But majority of these businesses are non-black owned. Beauty supply stores, we know who own those. But we do got Jordans that's black owned. You know, they own South Shore and up the street here. Cell phone stores, we know who own those in our neighborhood. But we do got 63rd and Cottage Grove, Brother Ken there. Car washes, blacks still control the car washes. So we still got that kind of under control.
Buddy Bears, that black
Buddy Bell, that's old school. That, but they made a comeback, huh? Remember they was gold, brown, and gold. Yeah, they was like Popeye chicken color. But we got black owned, especially West Inglewood got the most black owned car washes. They got vans there on 59th and Ashland, 60th and Ashland, that little corridor there. So we still black still control the car washes for the most part. Cleaners, black cleaners, but we know the Asians kind of control the cleaning market. Daycares, black still control the daycares. So that's one that's still strong, but black control the daycares. Gas stations, we know who control those. We do have the black owned on 151st and kids, the Gibson family out there. Um, Landlords, we still landlords, so that's a good for black people there. Liquor stores, but black owned liquor stores. Breathing Fellows got that list. We got to get our list updated with that. But we do have a new brother that just bought one. That's a good thing there. Okay. And then nail salons. The Asian community dominates. Get too wet out here. Pull down this way, don't blow over. So the nail salons, we got more black people that do nail salons out of their house. So we keep that list and we're trying to make sure black people know so they can go, hopefully you don't mind going to the home and doing it because the Asian community dominate the nail salon. Any thoughts on that from those businesses, y'all? So Grover Reed just asked, how do we get this out? How do we publicize? I think word of mouth is the most powerful. So I think we just gotta want people to. No, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Eugene Delanato has Black Pages International, and our brother Eric Knowles, 71st and State Street, he has the Black Factory too. So those two guys, I would say right now are probably advanced with being able to look it up. We also have our superstar Cassiopeia out of Chatham. She has the Black Pages Black Market, and she got that online, Target Market, something like that. But Cassiopeia, so I'll link you to those. But here's what I would say on that front. Uh, Sometimes our black business owners have to uh, hire other people. They had to do business with other people. There's nothing wrong with that. Other races do that too. And so we as black people, if it's owned by us, that means that the money is kind of staying with us. So we should support it. So like the Black McDonald's Association, some of them got all Latinos working in them. You know what I mean? So the black owner still owns it though. He just creates jobs and other ethnic groups that benefit from the jobs, but it's still owned by us. And so we don't want to see the black owners lose their businesses. So we still ideally would support it. We can't take potential money, but hopefully we'll still black owned and help them get black workers so that the black dollar stays in our hand, like Chinatown, Greektown, Little Italy. Because I know we get that sometimes. It was all other people there. I get it. But all right, we got to speed up here. So the third Wednesday, all our black accountants, black barbers, black dentists, black doctors, black funeral homes. The funeral homes are still us, y'all. Black landscapers, black loungers. We're losing black loungers. We lost a lot of black loungers. Black massage therapists, skincare professionals, and black moving companies. That's the third Wednesday. Brother Darrell, he keeps those people talking to each other. Then the last one, the fourth Wednesday, which is coming up this Wednesday, our superstar Kim Felton at South Shore, she keeps this group together. Our black auto mechanics, black book authors, black brick masons, black carpenters, black corner stores, black electricians, black journalists, black karate, black lawyers, black marketers, black painters, black plumbers. Uh, if you have a problem with black, ask yourself, what's wrong with doing it yourself? The blacks can't do it yourself. You might be part of the problem. If you don't want to see blacks doing it for self, ask yourself. Any thoughts on that? And we done with the economics, y'all. No, you good. Good, thanks. All right, so now we moving on to politics. We got literally 23 minutes left. Before you go, I want to make sure that you be. We're going to take a station break. Be back in 5 minutes, you guys.
Stay healthy. Good touch, guys.
All right. So the last name solution is something that I really, really want to talk about, you guys, because Black people, we don't like boring, y'all. We don't like boring. This is boring, and I get it. Routine tend to be boring. Making your bed up every day tend to be boring. I get that. But it has a role to play in keeping things stable, keeping things consistent. So the fun thing that we want to do, that I think we need to do to help this move us along, is we need to have a party um, the day before the summit. So Friday night before the summit. And the party should have two groups of people, crucial, that they participate. The outgoing and the incoming last name people should be at this party. The party should be named for them. So this month is last names F through K. So it's the most alphabets, F, G, H, I, J, K. So that's 5 different alphabets. They should be throwing a party for who's getting ready to take over. And who's taking over September 1st is last names L, M, N, and O. So F through K should throw a party for L, M, N, O Friday. Where it's food and drinks. It should be fun. No talking. I won't say nothing. What do y'all think about that? I think that's missing. Yeah. Fun. Because people don't want to get preached to. I get that. And that's what this would not be. Because it's music. You know what I mean? You socialize, you get to meet your governors, district leaders, you get to meet so if we was doing that party, the other 4 groups can come. So the A through E's can come, the B through Z's can come, but it's mainly for ingoing, incoming, and outgoing because they transferred everything over to them. Do that make sense? Like they saying, hey man, I'm the outgoing electrician. You know what I mean? You the incoming electrician. Here you go. Let's take a picture together. I'm the outgoing daycare person. Here's the incoming. You know what I mean? Like, look at what that do for Black America, Black Chicago. Because you should do it in Detroit too. You should do it in LA too. Every F through K should be transferring over. Look at what that's doing. That means we got continuity. Uh-huh. It needs that. And the fun part is the key. My wife get on me all the time because people want to have fun. They be getting beat down. They want to have fun. So this fits that fun part. So if y'all help the 1,000 people do the dollar, we can finance that. That's the key. Costs money to do all this stuff. So that's the lesson now. So now the other part, I think our senior citizens, they should do a 10 o'clock one. Our young people should do a 7 p.m. one. Our grown folks, they should do an 11 o'clock one. And they'll be at a lounge or a club where the youngsters ain't gonna be at. You know what I mean? But the point is, let's have it for everyone. Our retirees, our adults, and our youth, the turnover. But what do y'all think about that? Because that's a different twist to it. That Black Lounge gonna love it when 30, 40-year-olds coming. Our elders ain't coming. They'll come at 10 in the morning to whatever, you know what I mean? So, but the turnover is real because his last name, seven at night. That way they at home by 9. So you get them 2 hours for them to do that fun stuff. So just know, y'all, we aware that we gotta have some fun, and it's in the cards, and you know, we go pull that off because we gotta do that. So I put this out there to my wife this morning, and she challenged me on it. So let's go through this. I said, Deborah, I want you to hear this. I said, it's nothing that you or we go do that's gonna turn our conditions around as Black people. Disagree? Agree. That you go do our condition. You say you can? You think we can?
Honestly, no.
Yeah, I agree with. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you think gonna be done? Like what?
I'm part of the whole. The Black people.
No. So what I said, I was playing with them words on purpose. Structure, system, individual. I talked about individual. I said nothing you go do for a week, yo 5, 10 minute, 30-minute people. Because we up against structures, the G20, you know what I mean? The Republican Party, Democratic Party, you outnumbered, you out team. So what you gonna do individually with your group? It's too big. The problem is too big. It's in LA, it's in Detroit, it's St. Louis. So unless you got a structure big enough, how you gonna match that? You know? So the solution, and I told my wife, we gotta live our way out of this mess. It ain't doing nothing. We gotta live our way out of this.
What do you mean by live out?
That's what you think. I'm a whole global statement. What do you think? That we can live our way out of this mess we're in. I'm saying that. I'm saying that's what we got to do. So watch this. And this way I'm going with this. Our problem right now is we out of alignment and we off schedule. Right now, everybody is at 5 different events. Next year on the 4th Saturday in August, we're gonna be at 5 different events. 30 years ago, we was at 5 different events. So if we continue down that path, we'll stay busy going to all these events. what have we aligned ourselves with big enough to fight the big problem that we have facing going against us? So the alignment is making sure that everyone know the assignment. Plumbers, 12th graders, restaurant third graders. Mike Perkins, these black businesses getting them to align themselves together so they can support each other. City put a sticker on there, they finna shut them down. Them businesses coming together to help that business because they in alignment together. So what I'm saying, we out of alignment because we all over the place. Everyone is, you know, and the key is but I want to make sure you get my point though. So when you look at that paper, I showed you about 13 businesses assigned to one Wednesday or the second Wednesday, right? That's an alignment so that they become a unified force. It ain't just about helping them, it's making sure that there's room left over, we can do more. So it's 39 businesses on that paper. It's for Wednesdays. So by grouping them up, they become a force by themselves. You know, and if one can't help, they can go outside of that group. So it's getting us in alignment to where we got pockets of overwhelming support for each other. It ain't just random, like we're just helping any business. No, this is a family, if you will. And that family all is linked to our students. So now the residents want to spend money with them because when they spend money with them, they know it's coming right back to the students. So when you go eat at that restaurant, because of the alignment, you know that restaurant is helping the third graders, and you know they can't build a new prisons because they look at third grade test scores. That's an alignment that ping balls and makes sense. When you look at the vacant buildings, you know that's landlords. Landlords are linked to ninth graders. So when you call to get that landlord on board, you helping our freshmen now. So when I'm saying what we have right now is we got the Urban League, we got these groups. You notice I ain't even said our name. You hear me say our name at all. Because it's about how we structure, how we align. Forget the organization. What I do for a living, how is it tied to our fulfillment and our progress as people? Not my fraternity, sorority, none of those things, because all those are silos. What is the profession that's linked to the grade? What is the day that's linked to taking care of the elders, no matter what my affiliations is? I could be a Buddhist, Friday, let me love on the elders, because elders deserve some love. Why not have a set aside time that aligns globally that we can do that? So what I'm getting at, if we live these habits, if we live these structures, it's automatic what's going to happen. That plumber know what to do. You know what I mean? If we link them with the 12th grader and they know what to do. So we ain't got to say what they do. Just the alignment is going to take care of itself. So that's what I mean by living it out, because the structure is doing almost 60% of the work just to link together. And the scheduling, the timing part is you busy. You busy, you got a lot going on. So twice a year. Now we know you ain't burnt out. So now we can count on you no matter what, because we know we ain't burnt you out. That's the difference. Because you got great people doing great stuff, but they burnt out. Pastor leaning on the secretary so much, she barely hanging on. With the schedule, now you got a backup secretary. You got 5 backup secretaries, because that's just 6 altogether. So now we're not burning our people out. Now they got more strength for the fight. Because where we going now, we burning out people. We running around all these places doing all this stuff. It's nothing causing us to be coordinated globally that I know of. So what do y'all think from that standpoint? Alignment and schedule. That's the 2 things that's how we'll be able to just live our way out of it. And then pulling together the dollars. Shoot holes through it. No, I want to make it, people might have that same question y'all got. Because think about it, since the 40s, we've been in a downward spiral. If you really look at each decade, from the crack epidemic, you look at it. In the 40s, we owned our own businesses. That's when they burned Black Wall Street, all that stuff in the 1920s, because we was doing for self. They forced us to be amongst each other. They forced us to. Integration came, hey, I'm out of here, reduces. So we've been literally fighting ever since they integrated, and now we all over. So with the structure, it gets us back coordinate together without a big scene. Without a big scene. Reverend Taylor, him taking care of the 12th graders, we don't need a big scene for that. We don't need a meeting for that. That's him taking personal responsibility to do his part. And those transactions with that 12th grader, now that 12th grader, like, man, them grown-ups, man, they are what they say they are. Not really, that's Reverend Taylor. But you see him as a network of us that care about you. So now I'm gonna pull my pants up. Because y'all didn't come preaching to me. You came sowing seeds that made me listen to you because I hear you now. Same with the restaurants taking care of the third grade, the barbers helping the eighth grades. Those alignments bypass all of our silos that right now we organizational gangbang. We putting our name on everything. So we say, it's mine. And we got literally anti-violence groups that is out there on the block, turf banging, because they the best anti-violence group to this anti-violence group. And we supposed to be out there promoting peace. And we out there getting upset because, this is my turf. So my point is, any of the organizations, we got to know there's limitations. That's the biggest thing. Everybody ain't gonna like them. Everybody ain't gonna roll with them. And that's fine. What we have, forget our name. Our name don't matter. It's how we're structured that matters with us. It's the fact that no matter what, you could be a Buddhist, you could be an atheist. If you're an atheist, but you're a plumber, can you just put $100 over here for the 12th grade to get winter boots? We ain't recruiting them to be an atheist. We ain't recruiting them for just can you do that transaction? But by doing that, it allows us to build something that's block by block, zip code by zip code, and ain't nobody gangbang because it ain't named. It ain't titled after nothing. It's relationship based, if that makes sense. Mimi, shoe holes through that. You agree with that? And since we talked, I said the best way of describing that is visible and invisible. Our structure is invisible. What's visible is when we get together, and that's based on the timing. Today is the summit. Y'all hear from y'all zip codes. So the timing gets y'all visible, but invisible is Grover Reed being connected with our electrician or whatever the linkages are. What do you think? Mimi first, then. Does that make sense? Well, I got Grover because of basketball, which probably was wrong, but I had you under the entertainment piece with basketball because that's how we met with the basketball piece. So entertainers got first grade. Now Grover he do something that we don't put on a lot of people. He do the $250 piece. So he like up here, because that's a big deal. We $1 people, he up here. So he a bad example. Reverend Taylor, Reverend Taylor. So that's a good example. Reverend Taylor's a plumber. He got 12th graders. Reverend Taylor, at least twice a year, he put $100 up for a 12th grade. That's real, that's tangible. Perfect example. We had a 12th grader who was stranded at the Greyhound because he missed the Greyhound bus. I was driving and I picked him up, and his mama was on the phone cussing him out because he missed the bus, and we behind on bills. You should have had your butt there early. I'm hearing it. So I asked him when he hung up the phone because he was very mature. I said, what happened? He started explaining everything. I said, what grade are you? He said, 12th grade. I said, which one when you grew up? He told me where he wanted to be. I said, so how much the bus fare back? He said, $63. I said, ain't nobody got it? He said, no. Reverend Taylor just sent me the $100 for the 12th grade. So you know what happened. I said, brother, thank God for right now. You're a 12th grader, you talking positive, you handled your mother well with her snapping on you. I said, you got Cash App and Zelle? He said, yep. So I'm about to send you $100. He said, what? For what? What I gotta do? I said, because Reverend Taylor this morning sent the $100 and he wanted to go to a 12th grade. He said, well, I gotta ask my grandma. He called his grandmama, what do you want? What's it about? You know what I mean? So when I got to the house, she came out and she said, so ain't no strings attached? I said, only attaching if he can give me a picture so I can make sure Reverend Taylor know where the money went. And ain't nothing else. I said, nothing else. Sent the money. Couldn't believe it. I got the picture, showed Reverend Taylor. His mama, his grandmama told his mama it was legit. I told her Google my name and check me out and all that stuff. We ain't talked to them since then. You think he go forget that though? That's in his life. But when people say I ain't never won nothing, I ain't never had that, that never is gone. Can't never say never. So that's my point. But that's a living example on how that works. So imagine if all the plumbers was doing that. Now we got money for 12th graders all over the place, you know. So that's the example. What do you think? That's a good example.
12 to 100 Reverend Taylor.
What DJ Clark? He a DJ. He put his money up. It go for the 10th graders. We done the same thing. So I just want governor to know this happens all the time, but that's invisible. Like, you know, besides the picture to who gave it, we ain't calling channel 9 out, channel 10. Hey, look what we did, you know. That's invisible. But the biggest thing is the pictures is our receipt. That's how we prove to people that it really happened, you know. So yeah. So the last thing, because we got 5 minutes.
Do you have anybody to follow up? Just get that young man a call and say, how you doing? How the trip went? How the trip go? Are you about to graduate? Yada, yada, yada. That's the group that kind of helps that one day.
Yeah. So his goal, he was in business. That's what he wanted to do, business management. Every second Monday is business day. So every second Monday, I try to reach out to him. The phone cut off. Phone been off. Now I learned not to throw people numbers away because sometimes they just ain't paid the bill and a month later it'll come on. It haven't yet. So I haven't been able to reach him, but I'm still keeping the number because you never know when he might pay the bill and get it activated. But we got a process to stay in touch with him once we know their career field. You know what I mean? So every second Monday is his duty day, whether you know it or not. So we gonna keep going with his number because we want him to know it's layers of support. Like it's help after that, you know, for him. So did that make sense for you, Governor? Reverend Taylor, real life example. Reverend Taylor ain't do no work. We did the work. The structure did the work. He funded.
Yeah.
That's the key right there, Governor.
What's my five goals thing?
No, Governor. She do this all the time. Governor, you good. You see, this our challenge, y'all. See, Governor Deborah, she's a doer. She want to do. She volunteers. She do stuff. And my wife, she like that too. We are boring. We are plain. We like mayonnaise or sour cream. And our doers don't like that. They want flavor. They want to see the people they helping. And we just not built like that. So we just pray the governor don't leave us, but just know we can put you in front of the people you helping because we really are helping the people. Does that help? Because what you're asking for, that ain't. Oh yeah. Well, you did 250 last December. Remember that? You saw the 48 black businesses that helped. I think that's doing something. But you see what I'm saying? You did something big and you ain't giving yourself credit for it. And that was a big doggone deal. That's what I'm talking about. What we do is so benign that we miss it, but it's a big deal. You know, so but damn. I know it's just always always right. Good example. I know you're not gonna, you know, like one to two the results, whatever, but you know that it's happening. You receive that, Deborah? A bigger thing that's that this other the white. Because you don't see the white system, it's working right now. When they pull them over, when they, you know what I mean? Like, their system is working. And that's the thing, right? It's not for me. You know, like, I want to see things happen or whatever. And I get frustrated because I know that
our people,
Visual, yeah.
our people, we're feeling people.
Right.
People, and we want to see things, and I guess my frustration